Someone asks the queen what she is doing, drawing her attention to the person who asked the question. It was the hero who had a different outfit, and it was just then that he spoke to help him and asked how he looked in it. Elizabeth, blushing at how well it fits, confesses that it's beautiful, very beautiful, quickly snapping back to reality. The hero, however, was referring to the shirt he was holding in his hands and asks if it's big enough. But before receiving an answer, the queen runs to her room while he comments that her behavior is strange. It is at that moment that he notices Rused's condition, a bit surprised, as she seems visibly affected by the illusion attack. She starts pleading to be left alone and promises she won't dare to do more. Later that night, Rused is lying somewhat hidden on a bed in the middle of the room. She wonders what happened before, as she remembers nothing except the fear that still surrounds her. She adds that she has reached the level of a 4-star demon king and is sure that outside, she wouldn't lose to someone from the Dark Guild or the Holy Sword Guild. However, in front of the 2 residents of the house, she feels like an insect being toyed with by children, unable to resist, and starts trembling. Then, she gets up and declares that she cannot give up, that she needs to push beyond her current level. Suddenly, she notices something. Looking toward the window, she perceives an evil presence watching her. It is Elizabeth, who gestures to indicate she will be watching her closely. This causes Rused to hide under the sheets, while the queen recalls Lepping's words. He had told her everything would be fine and had made a promise. This makes her smile as she curses him, remembering that at least he keeps his promise of never allowing anyone else in her bed. She wonders if he rescued that woman to force her into a stance, since emotions are something even a creator can't control. Believing that after sending that woman back home, she will confront him slowly, considering the possibility of defeating him. The next day, the hero wakes up calmly. However, he notices something and asks Rused not to be so polite, pointing out that they have a robot vacuum cleaner at home. He asks her to get up, as a guest is a guest, and asks Elizabeth to say something about it. Elizabeth replies that she was not the one who forced Rused to do that, and questions what that has to do with her. Rused explains that it's not important, admitting that she made a mess on the floor yesterday and considers it her responsibility to clean it up. However, she reflects that it's all the Demon Queen's fault, who had been sitting there early watching her, making her feel so uncomfortable that she had no choice but to find something to do to show her submission. Then, Lepping asks her to get up and offers to help, a gesture for which the woman thanks him. The young man comments that it's no problem and that after finishing the cleaning, he will prepare breakfast, all under the queen's watchful eye. She then places her drink on the table to push Rused and tries to take the rag that Lepping was holding. She asks if she really gets like this just for cleaning the floor and asks her to hand over the cloth, assuring her that she will show her how it's done. However, Lepping refuses and states that he can't do it. Elizabeth, somewhat angry, asks why. He then replies that rules are rules and asks her to let go of it. She obeys immediately as he slowly walks away. Then he comments that he will take care of the cleaning now and asks them to wait a moment. At the same time, he wonders if they think he hasn't noticed. He remembers that Elizabeth served red date and goji tea early in the morning, something specially prepared for her. He assumes she thinks the rule isn't over and that her stomach hurts. He reflects that cleaning the floor or something similar is probably another impulsive behavior caused by emotional changes, and tells himself that he cannot allow her to touch cold water. He concludes that he has solved another crisis, as he was able to react quickly. Rused, seeing this, comments that Mr. Lepping shouldn't be so harsh with her. But the queen responds, reminding her that she has until today to leave, as that will be her last show of compassion. She also warns her that if she says one more word, she will make her disappear instantly with her own hands. The woman, trembling with fear, responds that she's sorry and that her humble servant will leave immediately. At the same time, she reflects on the terrible feeling of oppression she feels, concluding that Mr. Lepping is a treasure, but the dragon guarding him is an opponent she could never defeat. That's why she decides to leave while she still can. And with that, we've reached the end of this week's chapter. If you made it all the way to the end, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this chapter in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe so our community can keep growing and we can reach more fans like you. See you in the next video. In the meantime, if you're from the near future, I'll leave you the next chapter and a comic you're sure to enjoy. Thank you for being part of this adventure.